has come. The deadline has come. And now we will see if the people...
Can you give me one word that describes Baltimore?
Believe.
Hectic.
Confusing, you know?
Reaction.
I would like to give 2 words, but since I can't give 2 words, I'll give 1 word, and I would say...
That's hard. 1 word. Result.
1992.
Riots.
Chaos.
Change.
Progressive.
My name is Tiara Howell, and I'm from Gastonia, North Carolina.
Teddy Alexander from Baltimore, Maryland.
I'm Ali Barnes. I'm from Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Hi, I'm Kelsey Beckford. I'm from New York City.
Hello, I'm Kenneth Akins from Frederick, Maryland. My name is Damani Harrison Porter, and I am from Washington, D.C.
Hey, my name is Breland. I'm from Largo, Maryland.
My name is Terry Gutierrez, and I'm from Los Angeles, California.
Hello, my name is Taylor Debnam, and I'm from Portland, Oregon.
I'm Ibrahim from Buffalo, New York.
Dante Barrel Huffman from Detroit, Michigan.
Chanello Tyler from St. Louis, Missouri.
And how do you feel about the current state of Baltimore?
The current state of Baltimore is quite interesting. It's definitely an unrest. I call it controlled chaos. They're currently in a reactive state to what has happened. Is that the best decision? I don't know. But taking action is better than just being stagnant and not doing anything at all.
Support the Black community in Baltimore right now for sticking up for what they believe in and really making an impact.
Basically, Baltimore is a result of something that's been consistently happening in our country. You know, we had first beginning, even going back to Troy Davis in Atlanta, Georgia, to Trayvon Martin, to Mike Brown, Kendrick Johnson, and then to the situation in Baltimore. You see the country or whatever that area is, it starts to erupt more and more and becomes more of a volatile situation in each city.
I think this is a giant leap in America.
I feel saddened by the current state of Baltimore. I think it's sad that almost 50 years after our country has gone through the civil rights movement that we're still having to revisit these same issues, and that we have to question that we haven't really come that far, even though we've seen our people go through so much.
Upset and hopeful at the same time. Upset at the fact that, upset at a lot of stuff that is going on in Baltimore, I'm sorry, and hopeful because I'm very optimistic about a lot of the good that I think will come out of it as well.
I feel like what's going on in Baltimore is appropriate. Not necessarily saying that I agree with the violence that's going on, but I feel like what's happening there should have happened in Ferguson. You know what I'm saying? I could have seen that being done, but for some reason it was more calm than I thought it would have, Ferguson ended up being.
More of an urban city that's not very economically stable. You see that happening too, and it kind of I guess that relates back to blacks being in the lower class.
It saddens me that we tend to see a lot of these occurrences over and over. And just now, it's just another riot that has uprooted from the destruction and the inhumane state which our nation is in.
But it's definitely awakening a lot of people in America, and let alone the African American community, especially college students. So I feel like we're the generation that can bring it back to old times where we try to make strides in movements, and we're also the generation that needs to be most affected by it, because I feel like a lot of kids think that racism is dead, and it isn't.
It's very time appropriate, It was a few years since the past civil rights movement, and I definitely think that because of everything happening now, then it's a new civil rights movement, and it's definitely needed. It's the time to speak up, speak out, and let these people know that we exist, we matter, and we're not gonna, just let you guys sweep it under the rug with a few laws here and there. We're gonna make sure that things actually change for the better of our people and all people.
I think that it's necessary. I don't condone violence, but I feel like that's the only way that it's not really violence, it's just acting out of anger. And that's the only way that they really know how to handle themselves right now.
I think it's terrible, honestly. I think it's really wild that specifically our youth is tearing up our city. I get it, it's an expression of the way you're feeling, but to tear up the city in the process, instead of banding together and peacefully protesting as Freddie Gray's family would have wanted, I think that's not the answer.
Heidi, if you could talk to these people in Baltimore, what would you tell them?
I'm not mad at you.
I would tell them to keep doing what they're doing, honestly. Just be careful and be mindful of what their rights are, because the police will definitely try to undermine them, and they know that they're not as educated, so it's very important for them to know exactly what their rights are, what they can do, and how to, show activism and everything.
Keep doing what you're doing, because they didn't hear us when we was, being peaceful, being quiet about our beliefs.
Black Lives Matter.
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 Doing what they're doing, honestly. Just be careful and be mindful of what their rights are, because the police will definitely try to undermine them, and they know that they're not as educated, so it's very important for them to know exactly what their rights are, what they can do, and how to, show activism and everything.
Bet, can you give me one word that describes Baltimore?
Believe. Believe. And I say believe only because people need hope in the city. And like the mantra in the city